Hello to this short video. In this short video, I'll explain to you a little bit about CloudGuard. CloudGuard, it is a cloud security posture solution. It is free of charge, and we recommend it to always enable in your tenancy. Okay, so this can be considered a third hour in OCI, from this part of series. And what you need to do, you need to log into your tenancy. In my tenancy, as you can see, it is already enabled. You need to connect to your tenancy. In here, you're going to see the enable button. And when you're going to press enable, you will be asked to create policies to it. Okay, so what you need to do, the policy can be created automatically, and we can go in here, identity and security and policies. And in the root level, we have CloudGuard policies. You'll be able to see what are the policies. So it's going to be a manage rule that is related to CloudGuard capabilities to get generate events and so on. So it's going to use cloud event rules in tenancy. And after that, everything will be created with read, with read verb into it. That means that CloudGuard as a service needs to be feeded. It will allow it to be feeded with events from OCI services. Okay, from different services, instance families, virtual network, load balancer, and so on. After all of this, after this policy is created, when you're gonna go to the security menu, identity and security, and you're gonna click on CloudGuard, you'll be able to see this security score rating, the risk score, and so on. Now, really important, when you start in here, you're gonna see the CloudGuard is enabled on the reporting region. So this is gonna be your home region. After that, the second option that you need to do in here, we need to start the definition of the detectors. By default, in a tenancy, you have these Oracle managed detectors. Okay, so first, activity detector. Activity detector is looking at different activities that are detecting in your audit logs. Okay, so someone created a VCN in there, someone terminated the internet gateway, a local peering gateway, one VCN is created, one VCN is deleted, and so on. Things are happening in a YAM group and so on. So these are things that are looking at the activity of the users in the tenancy. Next configuration, configuration receipt that you see in here is the one related to how someone is configuring the resources in OCI, the services. Okay, so in here, if someone has added an API key, this might be something that he really needs. He wants to use that API key to connect with the Terraform or other things like this. Okay, so this one can be enabled and it's normal, but it's going to be on low priority because you want to know who has API keys to a user. Add it in there. Other things that you can look, the third one, it's the threat detector receipt. Okay, so the threat detector receipt is looking at the users. Okay, so it's using, as you can see, some micro attack techniques. Like password guessing, password spraying. It's looking to detect this type of attacks. Okay, so these are the ones that are done against the user. Now, after that, let's say you understand a little bit these rules, but they're not okay for you with the default configuration. What you can do with the rule that is put it in here, you can clone it. Okay, so in here you take the initial rule, you give it another name. Okay, so let's say demo threat detector receipt. Okay, we created at the root compartment. We have this one. Now we're gonna clone the other one. Okay, so this is not a threat detector, this is activity detector, sorry. We have this one also cloned. And the third one we can go and we can clone the configuration, Now with all of these in here, because we have cloned them and they're ours now, they're not managed by Oracle, we can click on them and we can select if we want to enable them, if you want to edit them, and so on. Most of them are enabled by default. So except let's say this one when a user is removed from a group, you can enable this and you click enable. I don't want to do it. But if we want more things, like we want to use conditional formatting, okay, so what we can do, there are 3 dots near each rule, and we can start looking at different detector rules in there, and we can go and add additional conditional. Yeah, so we can go always, we can see in a manage list if the user in a manage list, or if the user in a custom list. Yeah, so in here you can go and write the name of the users and so on. Yeah, so you can apply any condition that you want for this. Also in here, yeah, let's say in the gateway part, if we go to the gateway, yeah, we have the internet gateway. We can go again. Yeah, we can say maybe we can ignore certain IP addresses. Yeah, so if it's coming from my organization IP address, then it should not yeah, create any problem incident in there. Okay. Now, if we know about the incidents, we have everything in here. What we need to do in the next thing is the target. Okay. So what we can do, we can detect, we can configure a target. So what we can do, we click create new target. We specify what we want to monitor. So because we created with demo, let me create everything that is related to my demo activities. I didn't, let's say, clone the responder receipt. Responder is related, let's say, to certain activities that Oracle can do it for you. Let's say maybe if someone is seeing an object storage in a public state, yeah, and we know that it should be private, then at that point a responder can go and change that bucket from public to private. Okay, so this is how responder is doing. In here, I'll give it a name, demo target. So with all of this, yeah, what we need to do, we put it in that compartment, we create a new target, and I can do another thing. Let's say maybe go directly to demo, so the demo users should also be able to see it. So let's put it demo target. We can create the demo configurations, as I said before, and only the responder will be. So we created this, okay? So in here, yeah, after this is enabled, it should be able to start the detection after a few minutes. And when everything is seen and detected, the problems will appear in here. If you have multiple regions, yeah, you should be able to see it on those regions and so on. Okay, it's very simple. You can see if certain users have different problems, they were detected in here, yeah, in the threat monitoring part, and we see that the users are doing different things and so on. Then, yeah, they should be appearing here in the threat monitoring tab. Okay, data masking. Okay, so data masking rules, let's say if you have certain details, yeah, from a certain group, yeah, we can try to mask them. If we have locations, if we have, let's say, username and so on, or maybe some custom fields that we don't want to show anyone, what we can do in here, we can enable this data masking, and they will be redacted. Yeah, they will not be available to see it in the problems that are created. Now, if we click on the problems, yeah, you'll be able to see that we have different, let's say, resources that are generating this type of problems. Okay, so it's gonna say, look, this machine has a public IP, this is the subnet, this is the data that we created in there, and in here, if we had the responder activity, yeah, we will be able to do it. Now, if we see this type of problems, yeah, critical is, yeah, it's critical, as it says. It's something very important that we need to look. As I said, we do not recommend to create instance with public IPs directly attached to it. Yeah, maybe only if you are using a firewall. Yeah, so if you use a next generation firewall, then at that point it's okay to have a public IP. But to be safe, yeah, create all the resources in private subnets and put load balancers in front of it. Maybe there are other use cases where you need public IPs, but yeah, this is not a use case. Yeah, you have a website or something like that. Now, when you detect something like this, we have 2 options. Yeah, we can remove the public IP, move it to a different subnet in a private and so on. Yeah, or we can do mark as resolve and we can dismiss this. Okay, when we do this dismissal, yeah, it will not appear it unless it is generated again. Next option in here, yeah, if you see the remediate button. If the remediate button is in there, we need to have these rules created. And if they're not created, yeah, I can add them. We can click add and automatically they're created in the policies. And in here, when I'm doing something like this, I can click remediate and the public IPs will be deleted. I can also do something like this. I can stop the instance or I can terminate the instance. Yeah, so as you can see, each remediation rule that you see it in here, you need to also have a policy created. Remember all the time, if something is not working, 90% of the time it's related to the policies that are created in OCI. By default, everything is with deny all. So that means you need to allow it. Yeah, you need to allow a service to terminate an instance. Yeah, you need to allow a service to stop it. You see, the manage instance family also allows the terminate option. Yeah, so that's why I'm not allowed to do another one. And I can click terminate, yeah, remediate, and I can terminate the instance. They already terminated, but the problem was still in there. Okay, so yeah, I resolved. From that one, yeah, it's changing, and yeah, I can go on the other policies that are in here. So what we have, I have a port 80 directly on a machine. Okay, so I can also do the same thing, remediate. Okay, it's not possible to do that directly, remove all the port, but I can let's say go manually, and or I can dismiss it. Yeah, so I can dismiss it because I know that that machine does not exist in there anymore. After playing with all of this, you'll understand more about the features that are in here. Now, yeah, if you don't know how to go and do on all of this by yourself, you are new to OCI, as these series are intended to, what you can go to the recommendations of the CloudGuard, and in there, yeah, you have this, let's say, recommendation created by Oracle for you. Okay, so you have some description that says, yeah, if you want to resolve, yeah, what we recommend, go and resolve this first. Okay, so look at this one first time. Yeah, security list allowed traffic to restricted ports. I go to this one and I see this. This is a critical one, so this is the recommendation to resolve it first. I can go to the VCN. Yeah, if I click in here, yeah, so this is the default security list. This is the resource that I need to modify it somehow. And if I'm going in here, yes, doing a query, it's using the query language that you see in here. So what you can do in here, you can search for this service also from a different location. Yeah, this is the OCI ID of the security list. But when you're doing the search, you can go directly to that service. And in here, you can go and remove this rule. Okay, I can remove this rule. And after that, I can go back to the problem and I mark it as resolved. Yeah, I can say I removed the rule and so on. So service is very simple, but it's very efficient because you are having a centralized location where you can see everything. Okay. Now, the other option that you also need to understand, yeah, so sometimes you have, let's say, maybe a CM solution on premise, or you want to send this data to some logging solutions and so on. What does this CloudGuard solution is doing, let's say, already searching, querying all the logs from OCI, all the audit logs. So the problems that are generated, that are created in here, okay, they are related to already something that you might double it by sending the audit logs directly to your CM solution. Okay, so what I usually do with my customers, because of the pricing of different solution they are using and so on, instead of sending all the audit logs, yeah, from the logging service audit, yeah, to their CM solution, I'm sending them the events directly. Okay, so what I'm doing at this point, I create a rule. In that rule, I'm looking at the event type. The service that I want to use, it is CloudGuard. Okay, and in CloudGuard, I always want to look at the detected problems. With the detected problems, next I can send them as a stream. I don't have streaming yet configured. I'll do it later. And I'll return to this part. But yeah, you have this option. I can send a stream. I also can send a notification directly. And or I can create a function if I want to do something more complex. And that's it. Very simple. Okay, so thank you for watching. This was a high-level introduction to CloudGuard, and I hope that you will enable it in your environment to understand what is your security posture. Thank you, and see you on my next video.